oh maybe, you like my easy smile. And maybe, oh maybe, we'll stop for a little while. And maybe, oh maybe, I'll ask if you like tea. And maybe, oh maybe, you'll have a cup with me. Maybe we don't, and decide to take a walk. And you and I will ponder as we wander, as we walk.
Welcome to Ponder While We Wander. We're two friends who happen to be therapists, go on a walk as we discuss relationships, nature, and meet life in the moment. Each episode is grounded in some aspect of eco-psychology, but can take us anywhere as we ponder while we wander. And you're invited to come along.
And you and I will ponder as we wander, as we walk.
Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Amber.
Staying warm over there?
Woo! I got my scarf on.
No. It's a little chilly today as we're starting this recording.
Yeah. You want to tell us where we are today?
I would love to. We are in the Chimicum Valley in Chimicum, Washington. These are historical lands of the Chimicum people and ancestral territory of the Sklallam and other Coast Salish peoples. And more specifically, in this moment, we are on the Holler Ranch here in Chimicum. So we are lucky to be surrounded by some chickens.
Do we want to go by the chickens?
Sure. Let's see if we can get some chicken background. You're definitely going to hear some cows today.
Yes.
My friend.
You might hear a little chicken radio.
A little chicken radio.
Yes, that is to apparently keep the minks at bay so that the chickens can... Oh, hello, girls.
Keep them safe. Yes. My friend also let me know that recently the cows next door were weaning, so sometimes there might be some extra loud noises, but we'll see.
Do the girls want to say hello? No? They're going to be very quiet right now.
Oh, I just echoed back my little sound. Oh, sorry. Hey, guys. Hi, little chickies.
Hi,
they're
ladies.
so pretty.
Hi, ladies.
These are good egg layers
They
here.
are good egg layers. So we are gathering today to talk about how we gather.
Yes,
and
we are.
It felt appropriate given that the last episode of the first season was about saying goodbyes. And here we are kind of saying hello and coming back together again.
Let's come back together. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. And we thought this was a good topic as well because it seems that it's not as easy as it seems to gather. I think when we were talking about this, a lot of times we hear stories from people coming into our practice, but even friends and myself included had felt the absence of community. And sometimes that can be really isolating and lonely. And yeah, so we were talking about how people are coming into our practice, and we just got greeted by a couple horses. Hi. Hello.
Oh, they're so warm.
I know, you guys
Yeah. Hi,
are very,
guys.
very warm. Very, very warm. When people come in and talk to us about how, how challenging it is for them sometimes to gather, some of the stories that you heard about why we maybe chose this space is because you have some fond memories of gatherings here.
Yeah, my friends that live here and own this property here, they host a couple of particular gatherings every year, and always sharing their space with people. This lovely tradition that they have is called Festivus, and we do it kind of after Christmas, before New Year's, and we're able to have a really big bonfire and airing of grievances and everybody kind of coming together. And another really fun festival in the summer with lots of food and potluck and live music, and just being able to have a bunch of people from people come from kind of all over, live all over the country, come and gather here on this space. So it felt like a really appropriate place to talk about the importance of gathering and the benefits. And I know we're going to talk about some of the challenges as well. But this place is a fun location that hosts gatherings on purpose with intentionality, for people to just be together, share memories, and connect. This one wants to connect with me, I can tell.
Connect with land, connect with animals, connect with other humans. It's a beautiful place here. We've got some raised beds, and you can see the mountains over there off in the distance.
There's a creek running through, and
All right, the horses are like, goodbye.
I know, I don't think we had enough delicious snacks for them. They're like, gather again when you've got some treats.
That does make gatherings better.
He's looking at me. He's like, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Let me know. So we often get these stories that people come in and they think that they are the only ones having problems, feeling lonely or isolated or disconnected from other people.
Yeah.
And what we know is that it's not an individual problem.
No.
This is a collective problem. This is something that we as our American society has been taking note of for quite a while now. And in his book, Robert D. Putnam wrote a book called Bowling Alone, The Collapse and Revival of American Community. He talks about how we used to have what he calls social capital, where we had kind of grassroots, small, formal clubs and groups of people that would get together. And for some people that would be church or church communities, but, even bowling leagues and sewing circles, even in some rural areas, there's barn raising or there's harvesting, things like this that happen. And in urban communities, there were more social clubs that were formed. And, those used to be more common in our society. They used to just be there. We didn't have to work for that. They existed. Right. And we've seen over the decades how that has shifted. We've shifted from social capital more to investing in financial capital. And that has changed the whole dynamic of how we socialize, how we feel connected, and what we spend our time and energy on.
Yeah, and even the more we kind of move towards that, I think about just like the time and energy that also goes towards that, and how resources shift. And like you were saying, it's not as built into our everyday rhythms and makeup of our society to have easy places of gathering.
One of the horses has decided to come back and grace us with their presence.
And I see it show up too, with different, work restraints. I mean, people are working really, really hard. A lot of the people I know, like, everybody's hustling and working, and people have side hustles, and there's just a lot of time and energy that goes there, and there's different phase of life restraints, and just it's a like I think we were talking about this a little bit too, right? And you were saying this as well, but it's not just an individual problem, right? There's a lot of systematic things at play as well. This shift that we're talking about. So it's just I guess re-say that it's not just a you problem.
Right. Yeah. So oftentimes if we give, people suggestions about, look, you're lonely. Like, how about finding community?
Right.
Right. It's often a little bit easier to find community than it is kind of those one-on-one personal relationships, because it takes time to form relationships, especially as adults. We don't have that same kind of proximity to people that we did when we were in school. We don't have that same kind of maybe even leisure time or just being around people over and over again. He's sneezing because of the horses.
Plot twist, I guess. I'm a little allergic.
Goodness.
I'm sorry, it's not personal.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Yes. It's getting very noisy. Okay. So I love Priya Parker. I want to read one of her quotes.
Oh, yes. Some good quotes.
About gathering. If you don't know Priya Parker, she wrote a book about the art of gathering and has a podcast and has all the things. So look her up and we'll put that in the show notes as well. But she says, why do we gather? We gather to solve problems that we can't solve on our own. We gather to celebrate, to mourn, and to mark transitions. We gather to make decisions. We gather because we need one another. We gather to show strength. We gather to honor and acknowledge. We gather to build companies and schools and neighborhoods. We gather to welcome, and we gather to say goodbye. But here's the great paradox of gathering. There are so many good reasons for coming together that often we don't know precisely why we're doing so. I think that is important in this day and age when you're talking about busyness and people having so much on their plate, right? To add one more thing, especially if we don't know why, if we can't really drill down to what's important and how does that match our own value systems and what we're looking for, then I think it's just going to feel like one more thing that we have to do. And I think that is not as helpful when we are trying to meet the needs, our own needs.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, one more task or chore. And this is making me, I'm thinking about how do we even maybe begin to ask that question of ourselves, this sort of slowing down and like reflecting a little bit and getting curious, if joining a group or starting a thing might feel like a big first step. Can you perhaps just slow down and check in with yourself and get curious about like, what might I enjoy or what helps me feel more connected to myself or my community or my environment? What did I used to enjoy if there was other times in my life where maybe, that felt a little bit more easy. But the why. There's lots of good reasons. I mean, there's also lots of studies about the health benefits of it too, but there's other values-based reasons.
I think if you also are thinking, wow, this seems harder when I think about gathering and coming together and having community, and some people have a knack for it. Some people really kind of know how to do this and get people together and they've cracked the code on it. But if you're one of those people, like myself, I value getting together. I value getting people together and being a part of groups and communities. But even with that, I find that it is hard sometimes to find a space where we can gather. A lot of times the only spaces that are kind of big enough for a group might be a restaurant or something that you have to pay. And those are kind of threshold barriers for a lot of people, especially right now when we're feeling that it's kind of tight in community. And then to gather in public is actually, there's a lot of history about loitering laws that if you're really interested in that, it's something maybe to take a look at. There are laws out there that have told people who should be here and who shouldn't be here, and there are laws against it. And again, it's some more of those barriers to how we can gather, and even opening up that space for that. Teens especially have a really hard time. Like they don't have the income to go, rent out a space or whatever. Nowadays, a lot of single family homes or dwellings are not big enough for big groups. And so teens have a hard time gathering, and there's a lot of a need for social gatherings for teens and adolescents, but not a lot of space that is friendly to that age group. There used to be kind of all ages coffee shops around that you could kind of stay in for a while, and you didn't have to spend a lot of money, and you could share ideas and mix of people and backgrounds. And you could find those in other countries, but here in the U.S., at least in the urban areas that I've been to, it's harder to find those. So again, part of the challenge is it's not you. We as a society are having challenges there.
Right. Yep.
So what to do? We know that gathering's important.
Where to begin with gathering?
Yeah, we know that the endorphins that come up with gathering and being around people are they're life-saving. They really do enhance our health benefits. And we know that socially we are interdependent on each other, that at some point in our life, we are going to need the help of people around us. We've seen disasters recently that when we knew our neighbors, our neighbors could check in on us or take care of us, or we could alert our neighbors it was time to go, or we could help protect them, or we could help deliver foods, deliver meals. There's a lot of reasons recently where we have needed more social capital. So what to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm really invested in the complexity here and the problem. But there are lots of things to do. And where to start, like where to even maybe look in your community to see what is already happening where you are. What events might you be able to join? Or, people are gathering. So sometimes it's not even having to create a new place, but to check into what is already going on.
Yeah. For some people that might be a religious community, but for some people that, especially with some church hurts and who have had some bad experiences with religious community, that might not be the place to go to. And so you might find that there are other communities that show up. Libraries are often good for book clubs. There are often art communities around who are very helpful and welcoming of artists of any medium and any ability. But there are maybe some things that you might want to consider opening up and offering for yourself and I know there's an app called meetup.com. I think it's a website where you can post free events and find out what might be going on. Some people who are learning languages are coming together on there. There are people who do cooking clubs together and share recipes. There are crafting clubs out there. Other ones that might be of interest are supper clubs, where even if you had a group of 6 people or so and you rotated around and hosted once a month a supper club, you can do something like that.
Yeah. There's people that gather in parks to play music together. There's I've got some younger kiddos, and there's groups that gather at the park, play park days, or, there are people gathering. And I think some of the systems challenges we've been noticing can make it hard to even sometimes catch those. But yeah, getting curious about what's going on, or what one thing might you find interest in. And that's that sort of checking in with yourself a little bit, and the value system, the beliefs, the whys, can be a really good starting point to see who else is also in alignment with you and an interest that you might have.
I think especially as adults, we need to have that meaning-making piece be important to it. There are 5 things that I'd like to highlight, if you
Please do.
would allow me to highlight a few things about making friends or community as an adult. Because we often don't think about this. When we were younger, community was much more accessible. But as we get to be adults, there are differences in the way that we show up. And it may not be that our coworkers or the people that we see every day are these people that are going to be our community or our friend group. So here are a few things that I think it would be important to think about when you are an adult wanting to make new friends or new community. The first thing is about taking initiative. I think a lot of times we kind of think that it should happen organically, like friends or community should just be there. And yes, it should be. Like that, our generations, it has not been given to us. And so I want to just normalize that.
Yeah.
That yes, I wish that this was all set up for us and that we did have access, but it's not. It's not like that. And
No,
so
it's
this
not.
is going to require initiative and a little bit of energy and a little bit of maybe even courage to do this. The second thing is that there is a need for affirmation in adults who are friends or budding friends. People like to be around people when we know what they like about us, right? So if you are a person who is not used to giving affirmations or telling people why you like them, some of our more introverted friends may not have this come naturally. But it is a skill set that maybe we can work on, is being able to authentically tell people why we like to hang around them. Because sometimes people wonder, why do they want to hang around me? Right? But people like to hang around us when you like them. The third thing is security. When we talk about relationships and our relationship style or attachment style, sometimes we talk about being securely attached. And that kind of just means that we can be our own individual, and then we can also show up in relationship. And there isn't maybe a lot of anxiety around that, or we're not trying to run away from relationships. And even if your attachment style is more avoidant or anxious avoidant, or all of the above, be able to tap into the part of yourself who can show up and give people the benefit of the doubt, and give them the benefit of the doubt until you are given explicitly an indication that requires something otherwise. And that may be really hard to do given maybe past relationships, or this is a new skill set for you, but it's something to think about and consider, to be able to give people the benefit of the doubt. The fourth thing is about persistence, right? To be able to optimistically show up and show up consistently. So if we show up and we think, oh my God, I'm going here again, I'm going to this thing and nobody ever talks to me, nobody's going to me, like that is not the optimism that we're looking for. Or if you show up once a month to a gathering that happens once a week, right, and you miss gatherings in between there, you're not showing up consistently. You're not giving yourself the best opportunity to form community and to let people get to know you as well. If you remember in school, we sat next to the people that we became friends with, or if you went to church, we showed up consistently, and that makes a big difference. That consistency. And then the last thing to consider is actually reaching out. That means that you would invite somebody and connect. And I know a lot of people say, I'm always the one that's doing the inviting. I wish that, somebody would invite me to something once in a while. And I would say that, yeah, that sometimes happens. Sometimes that is the role that we play in relationships, is we are the inviter. We are the one that does the inviting. And maybe that is just where we are in that until we can have those deeper conversations, until we can really form that relationship.
I think a skill set of the inviter is there might come a moment as well where you actually get to invite somebody else to host or to take the lead. You can invite them, like, hey, who wants to be the next? So if that is your role, that might be something that can develop over time as well.
I love that. Well, that cow is really going. It really has something to say out there.
It agrees. It likes where you're going with this. 5 points. It's like, I've been trying to tell people that all along and nobody's listening to me. Finally.
So we have one more thing that we would like to offer, and this is going to be up on our website, and I'll put the link to that as well, is we're going to offer a low threshold barrier option to gathering and to coming together, which is, we're going to call them Wander Well walking groups. But, we're not here for the branding. We're not going to be, there's no membership fee for this. So you can take this idea and you can run with it. You can call yourselves whatever you want, or you don't have to call yourself anything. But the idea is to invite somebody or a group of people out just to go walking. And I think it meets a few things here. One, it gets us out and about, and we get the benefits of all the stuff that, we've been talking about last season, about connection with nature, relationship with nature, being able to get the benefits of vitamin N, and whether you're walking at night or during the day, you're experiencing the world around you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that this can be very low threshold, where it could just be one other person that you go on a walk with, or you could actually expand it and keep inviting people. If you have 2 people and they both invite a friend, now you have 4 people. And if they each invite somebody, you've got 8 people. So think about how you might be able to do that and get to know some of the areas that you live in as well. And then the last part that I think is really cool about this, and there might be other cool things that you can think of too, but is that it really does shift back to that social capital versus the financial capital. If you go on a walk with somebody, for the most part, you're not contributing to a capitalistic gain. You're not spending a lot of money. You can, generally there's no real cost to that. Maybe you get a new pair of shoes or something. But
Yeah, it's accessible, easy. And there's already a little structure built into that. You can start with even just picking a spot to go. Right? You don't have to conjure it all up out of thin air. Like, pick a spot, think of a person or two, and we're going to help provide some prompts or questions and framework. You can launch a launching pad, if you will.
yeah. So we'll put that link in the show notes, and it'll be on our website. Yeah. What else would you like to say before we go here? And this is getting dark.
It's getting dark. Yeah, I'm just
It's not raining yet. That's good.
feeling inspired to gather, to continue to gather, and to get creative with the ways that can happen, and the low entry points that we've talked about, and
Do you have any ponder points for us, Amber?
Ponder points. I think my ponder points might be for some of the people that are at the very beginning of thinking about, like, how am I even going to do this? And, why would I want to, and where do I start? And I would just invite you to I don't know, maybe spend 5 minutes and just ask yourself, like, what do I really enjoy that can be a place that I look for community, or what am I really missing? Is it a larger community gathering? Is it a smaller walk with somebody? Like, where might I want to start to consider? Ducks.
Geese.
Geese?
Ducks?
Birds.
Information.
What do I want gathering to look like for me for this next year?
Yay. I like that. I think I would like to leave a ponder point, which is actually Priya Parker's pondering point here, to help us kind of drill it down. Right? So she says, take the reasons you think you are gathering. Whether it's because of our departmental Monday morning meeting, or because it's a family tradition to barbecue at the lake, and keep drilling below them. Ask why you're doing it. Every time you get to another deeper reason, ask why again. Keep asking why until you hit a belief or value. And I think a lot of us who ended up in workplaces where there's a bunch of meetings, like, that is a really important question sometimes, is why are we here? But not only in our workplaces, but in our personal lives, to drill down to our own values and maybe our shared values of the why.
Yeah, love that. It's a really good place to hold us as people might start to lean into this. I'm thinking of the 5 things that you offered of, like, this is how we do it, because that's gonna be hard and scary, like we're talking about. So I love that ponder point also as a place to, when you're feeling nervous or feeling hesitant or unsure, be like, this is why I'm doing it, because I've come in contact with my value or belief that can help me continue to pursue gathering.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think about the ways in which the world is affecting us right now. A lot of us are scared. A lot of us feel like our values are not being reflected in what's going on in the world. And most of the time, I think it is just that we haven't connected to other people who share our why. And when we can really get down to our why, then we can start to find those people who naturally meet that why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We have more to come, and we hope to, continue to gather and be part of our community.
Yeah. So until our next episode together, Natasha, wander well.